Welcome to episode 3 of series 2 of the Back in My Day podcast. This guest is Mohini Guneskera. Mohini was born in Sri Lanka, and inspired by her dad, she went into a career in law. She spent some time in the UK before settling in Australia, where she became, where she opened her first legal practice in Sydney. So, she's also very heavily involved with the Buddhist community, and she's done some great stuff there. And it was a great chat. Mohini reflects on her time as a trailblazing female lawyer. She reflects on her time breaking barriers, her spiritual journey, and also one that I love, her passion for cricket as well. So great chat with Mohini, and we hope you enjoy the episode.
Over in Sri Lanka, the Australian team going to UK always stopped over in Sri Lanka, and we'd all wait for it was Keith Miller's time.
Right, yeah.
And Keith Miller was our hero, because we have 4 generations. I'm the 3rd generation of lawyers.
Oh, right.
And my son became a lawyer, my eldest son. And he was
amazing.
The 4th generation, yeah.
Did you really enjoy your time working as a lawyer?
Yes, I did, yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have stuck for so many years if I hadn't. I've been in the Buddhist community for a long time.
There's so many things in your life where you've been an advocate for change, or you've started something like that. That must be great to have done all those things in your life.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's a good feeling, because when you think that you had done things that other people may not have even tried.
Thanks so much for coming in on the podcast and having a chat.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's okay. So we always like to start at the beginning, and I understand that you were born in Sri Lanka?
I was born in Sri Lanka, yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about the memories you have from those early years in Sri Lanka?
I started life in a village called Unawatuna, and Unawatuna was made famous by Arthur Clarke, because that's where he lived.
Right.
Arthur Clarke, you know Arthur Clarke, don't you?
No.
He's a scientist.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I should know, but I don't. So he was a famous scientist?
He was a very famous scientist.
And he lived in that?
He lived in that village, you see.
Right. And do you remember, have a lot of memories from your childhood in Sri Lanka?
Yes, I do, because we lived in a 3-generation home.
Right.
My grandfather's home, my father, my mother, and the siblings all lived in the one big home.
Right, so you're all in the home together?
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was nice, because and it's a big garden, so you could play cricket outside and
nice.
Run around and do a lot of things, because it was a 5-acre block. So there's
a big land.
Big garden, yeah.
Yeah. So plenty of memories from that time spent with family in the garden and doing things there?
Yeah. And then of course I left there when I was 8, and then my father was a judge, and he used to get transferred. So each time he got transferred, we went with him to a lot of the provincial towns. Yeah.
He was a judge?
He was a judge, yeah.
Yeah. So you would move around a little bit?
Moved around, yes, for so many years. He was judge for about 8 or 10 years. He gave up because my youngest sister was born, and he had 5 in the family, and he couldn't manage the finances. So he went back to the bar to practice. He was a lawyer. He was an advocate.
Right, okay. So when he was travelling around, you were all going with him?
We were all going with him and changing schools each time we went.
Oh, you had to change school as well?
Yeah.
So what were those memories like of having to move around and change schools?
It was difficult, because as soon as we got adjusted to the friends and the school, then he would get transferred again.
Oh no, so just as you got comfortable, then it was time to move on?
Time to move on, yeah.
So that was travelling around just around Sri Lanka?
Around Sri Lanka, yeah. As a student, they've had a lot of teams going to Sri Lanka. Even when we were growing up, the cricket team always used to stop over in Sri Lanka. The Australian team going to UK always stopped over in Sri Lanka, and we'd all wait for it was Keith Miller's time.
Right, yeah.
And Keith Miller was our hero.
Oh, really? So you're a cricket fan yourself? Do you like cricket?
Cricket, I like cricket, yeah.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah.
And I played cricket as well.
Oh, you did play? Yeah. Oh, nice, okay. Bowler, batsman?
Batswoman,
Sorry. Yeah. Did you play, how long did you play for? Did you play for just during your child years, or you carried on?
No, we didn't have women's cricket in Sri Lanka at the time.
Right.
So children's cricket was just home cricket with my brother and my sisters.
Yeah.
In the backyard, you see.
Yeah.
But after I came here, before I came here, just before leaving, they had, my husband was a pediatrician, so he would get transferred from province to province, and in a couple of the provinces, they had a cricket team.
Right.
They had a cricket team, and I'd play.
You got to play?
I played for the lawyers.
Right.
And my husband was a doctor. He'd play for the doctors. So it was a nice experience.
Did you play against each other?
We played against each other.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah, that's great.
And he was the captain of his team.
Yeah.
And they'd all bully him because they said that he bowled slow to me.
Oh. Did you get some runs against his bowling?
Pardon?
Did you get some runs against his bowling?
Yes, I did. I think I was the highest score. I had the highest
brilliant.
score for the lawyers that year.
When your dad was working as a judge, was he working on big...
He was a district court judge, so he'd hear all, the murder cases were also...
So he was working on the big, the
yeah.
high-profile cases.
Yeah.
Was that interesting for you? Did you get to?
That's how I became a lawyer. I did law.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
The motivation was that.
So you got to see it through your dad, and then did it yourself.
Yeah, because we have 4 generations. I'm the 3rd generation of lawyers.
Oh, right.
And my son became a lawyer, my eldest son, and he was
amazing.
the 4th generation. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a lawyer now.
No, he then gave up law.
Oh, okay.
And now he's a chartered analyst, financial analyst.
Right. Okay.
Quite different to the law.
Very different. Yeah. Did you start studying in Sri Lanka law?
Yeah, I studied in Sri Lanka. I became an advocate in Sri Lanka. Then I went to London and did my barristers. No, the different order. I went to London and became a barrister and came back and became a Sri Lankan advocate, and I practiced in Sri Lanka.
Right.
Then I came here to Australia and I got admission as a barrister here. And I practiced as a barrister in Australia for 5 years. But barristers at that time needed to be instructed by solicitors. You couldn't see your client directly.
Oh.
So I didn't have much success there. So then I changed roles. I became a solicitor. Mm-hmm. And after I became a solicitor, I got employment as a senior associate, and then I set up my own firm.
Oh, you did your own firm?
I had my own firm, and I had employed solicitors as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
That was good, yeah.
What was it like when you went to the UK, and what made you decide to go there?
Because my husband was studying for his membership. He wanted to do his membership in UK.
Right.
And he was there, and my father was supporting us through that period. Yeah. And I found that he was not sitting for the exam. And that's what prompted me to start law. Otherwise, I may not have started law at all.
Oh, so that's what prompted you to do it?
To do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I told my father that I met somebody who was studying law, Sri Lankan, and that he was saying how easy it was, then my father, without my knowledge, he had made arrangements for me to join one of the Inns of Court.
Oh, he did it. You didn't even know that he was making the arrangements.
I didn't even know that he was till he asked me, "Have you contacted them?" And I went to contact them, and they said, "No, you have a place here. We were waiting for you to contact us."
No. But you're glad he did it now? Yeah. How long did you spend in the UK? How long were you there for?
We were 3 years all told in the UK.
Okay. But whereabouts? In London?
In London, and in a little outside London, where my husband was a pediatrician there. He got a job there, a little outside.
Right.
Not Middlesex, I forget about It's a 1-hour journey outside of London.
Right, okay. Did you enjoy that time in the UK?
Yes, I did.
You liked it?
I made good friends there. Even wherever I went, I was okay in the sense that I speak to people. So I made friends. Wherever I went, I made some good friends.
So you're someone that's happy to get out there and go and meet people and create friendships?
I enjoy talking to people.
Oh, that's good. It helps so much in life, doesn't it? If you're that kind of person that will get yourself out there and talk to people,
And
it's a big difference.
you're interested in people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after the UK,
Yes.
did you then go back to Sri Lanka?
I went back to Sri Lanka, spent 8 years there, and then came to Australia.
So what made you decide to come to Australia?
One of my very close friends, she and her husband came to Australia, and they wrote to my husband and said that he will have a good life here, and it was they who more or less prompted us to come here.
Right.
Yeah.
And when did you come straight to Sydney?
No, we went to Darwin first. He went to. I never went to Darwin, but he went to Darwin first.
Yeah.
And then he thought that I may not like Darwin. Then he applied for position in, I don't know whether you know Dapto.
Yeah.
You know Dapto, yes. There was only one group of doctors there at the time, and they invited him to come and work there.
Right.
And then he got us there in Dapto, and I loved Dapto.
You enjoyed it there?
I really enjoyed it, yeah.
How long did you spend in Dapto?
We were there for about, I forget how many years, quite a few years. He was there for about 10 years, but we lived in Dapto only 3 or 4 years, and then I decided to start work.
Yeah.
And then my work had to be in Sydney, and I traveled for 2 years. I used to drive daily to Liverpool. The only practice I could afford to buy was in Liverpool.
Right.
So daily I traveled from Wollongong to Liverpool and back.
That's a bit of a drive.
That was a drive, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to do 300 odd kilometers, because even after coming to Liverpool, if I work in the city, then I have to drive to the city. So it was a lot of driving.
So did you really enjoy your time working as a lawyer?
Yes, I did, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't have stuck for so many years if I hadn't.
How long were you a lawyer?
I think 27 years I was a lawyer. Altogether 40 odd years, but 27 years in Australia.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
From 72 to 2006, so that's how many years.
Yeah. How was it once you retired? Did you...
Everybody thought that I will get brain dead once I retire, because
it's such a full-on job, isn't it? Being a lawyer, so much to think about, and then to suddenly stop.
I always sort of think.
Yeah.
But I think I enjoyed the relaxation.
Yeah. Well, after doing it for so long, it must
After
have been
doing
nice
it for so long, and the other thing is that, see, when you're working so hard, you don't have time to have long conversations with your friends on the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
And things like that, little things that sort of seem to matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do any, once you did retire, was there any particular hobbies or interests?
Yeah, I've been in the Buddhist community for a long time. Yeah.
Yes, I was keen to ask you about that. How did that all start?
I started a foundation, University Buddhist Education Foundation. I got a few friends together, and we funded the teaching of Buddhism, Buddhist studies at Sydney University. They have a full-fledged Buddhist studies department there.
That was started by you?
The original funding was given by us, but we made sure that the university agreed to share the expenses.
Yeah.
Then thereafter we had another much more better funded group who joined, and now they continue. They have a lecturer whom they fund completely. We have no funds now to give them, but the program continues.
That's so good. It's so good that you're involved in that and starting that. It's still going.
So that's a good feeling that I get.
Yeah, that's really
because
good.
Because without that they may not have started.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I also did was, once we started that, then I was approached to help to start a temple, a Buddhist temple, Sri Lankan Buddhist temple.
Yeah, yeah.
which again, I drafted the documents for setting up a fund.
Yeah.
And the Buddhist, there's one Sri Lankan Buddhist temple in Schofield, and that was the outcome of that experience. Yeah.
So there's that you had a temple built in Schofields?
We bought the first land for 150,000 in Auburn.
Yeah.
Then that was mostly on borrowed money. We had a few donors, particularly one doctor gave the deposit for the building, and then we borrowed the rest. But within a year, we were able to pay off the loan completely.
Yeah.
So then we sold that and then set up in Schofield, I think. That was, and we were able to buy the property without a loan at Schofield.
Yeah.
But the running of the temple costs money, but the Buddhist, the community now funds that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Even when we came, there was very few Sri Lankans here.
Yeah.
Because it was, you had to have some European blood to be able to come here. They had the White Australia policy then.
Oh, right.
And we didn't have any.
Yeah, yeah.
But then they relaxed a little and they brought in professionals.
Yeah.
So my husband got his migration, and I thought I wouldn't be able to do anything here.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I went for the interview, when I told the immigration officer, I said, look, I don't expect to be working here. He said, no, I'm sure we will.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said, we'll see how we can help you, but there was no help. I had to find my way around.
You were some of the first Sri Lankans to come?
Yeah, we were to Sydney. There was a big Sri Lankan population in Melbourne.
Right, but not in Sydney.
But no professionals here. That was the thing, you see. There was one doctor.
Yeah.
My husband went to Dapto, but there was one doctor, Dr. Jans, who was about 5 miles south of Dapto. He had his own practice there. Right. And I think he was well liked. That may have been one of the reasons my husband got the job at where he did.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he would have created a good impression of Sri Lankan doctors.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So once you came to Australia, how quickly did you decide you'd stay for good?
Fairly quickly, because I came with the impression that, that I'm not going to make a go of it, and I enjoyed my profession.
Yeah.
And I thought that I won't get anywhere here.
Yeah.
But fairly quickly I fitted in.
They quickly changed.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, and I got job offers as well.
Yeah.
So it was good.
And you had a really enjoyable life in Australia since.
Australia, yeah.
Yeah. Did you go back to Sri Lanka much? Has the Buddhist following increased?
Has increased a lot. I think the last census when they did, they said that the increase was the highest increase of adherents of any religion.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's great.
Good. Yeah.
So it must feel really good to have played such a big part in all of that in Australia, in Sydney.
Yeah. No, it was a good feeling that,
that's great.
that the people, but I felt that people would be interested here because it's not a belief we don't believe in a God, we believe in good living mostly. And most appeal to that, isn't it?
I'm not too religious myself, but when you hear about the Buddhist way and it always sounds the one that I would relate to the most. It just sounds everything about it is very nice, very kind. It just sounds really good. So
because we are supposed to live by 5 precepts, and those are mostly to do good, to live well, not to kill, not to lie.
Yeah.
So those precepts that are important, and as a lay Buddhist, that's what you're supposed to follow. So those are, I feel, they are good starts, because if you do follow them properly, then you'll be a good person.
Good person, yeah. And what's involved now with that for yourself? For you, being a Buddhist, what is it much that you do now with it?
I don't do much with it, but I'm in contact with the university as well, because the the lecturer, the first appointee, is now the dean of the faculty of Buddhist studies there. So he keeps in touch.
Yeah.
He lets me know what's happening there.
You get some updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Otherwise, because I'm not one of those people who go to temple, which I shouldn't say, but because I don't believe, my father also didn't believe in attending temples as much as I believe in meditation, and I believe in studying what the Buddha taught.
Yeah, yeah.
Rather than...
Do you do a lot of meditation?
I do meditation, yes.
So have you always done that since you were young?
It's strange that it's only after coming to Australia that I started the meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've tried it quite a few times. I've certainly
the main thing is to find a good teacher.
Yeah, so many times I've sort of locked myself away in a room and I sit there and I try and concentrate on my breathing, and it's...
The breathing, that's a meditation that I also do, concentrate on the breathing in and out, and just follow the breathing right down and follow the breathing out. I can't say that I'm a successful meditator either, but it calms me down.
Yeah, yeah. The whole idea is just to sort of essentially like empty the mind of all the thoughts, isn't it?
It is the idea of emptying the mind,
Yeah, yeah. But
that's very difficult.
Yeah. I sit there and I try and concentrate on my breathing, and I'm trying to say, don't let any thoughts come in. And as soon as I think that thought comes in, and I try and get it out, and then it's very hard, isn't it? Especially the way we live now.
That's right.
Constant phones and things a million miles an hour. So to try and sit and get all the thoughts out, it's very hard.
I was told not to try too hard.
Yeah.
To just let the thoughts come in and go out. Don't try to stop it.
Yeah, just let it happen and...
It'll come and go,
So is it true that people that are really good at it, they get to this really amazing feeling? I'm very jealous of that. They talk about this amazing state of mind and feeling they get to.
I have gone through stages where you get a feeling of emptiness, in the sense that even if the thoughts come, you let them go, and then it's a pleasurable feeling, you see.
Yeah.
It's a feeling of happiness, that joy that comes.
Yeah, but it's a really nice feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to get practicing. So did you say I need to find a good teacher?
But keep doing it. Really, the teacher can only direct you.
Yeah.
But keep doing it, and then suddenly you'll find, this is what happened to me.
Yeah.
I kept doing it and I almost gave up, and then suddenly it clicked, you see.
It started working.
Yeah.
Are you a good teacher?
Not at the moment. Yeah. Do you know Ajahn? There is Ajahn Brahmavanso, who is in Perth.
Yeah.
He's a good teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so is he someone that I can look up on the internet maybe, or YouTube or something?
You can look up YouTube. I think he does conduct some teachings on YouTube.
Right. Yeah, definitely keen to try it and keep working on it and see if I can get better at it.
Yeah.
Because so many people say it's such a good thing to do now, meditating. You mentioned before that you started your own business.
Yeah.
What was that like? And then was that scary doing that? Did you? What pushed you to do it?
I bought a very small practice with just a few. So that was what I needed.
Yeah.
Because then and I increased his practice. Within 1 year, I had doubled the takings that he had the previous year, and it just went from strength to strength.
So you were good at it. You were good at running a business.
I was good at, I don't know whether I was good at, I'm not good at business, but I was good as a lawyer, and with the law, people see your skills in court, you see. So I have had so many people come to me after watching me at court, And the difficulty I had was because I had to be briefed by a solicitor.
Yeah.
And at that time, I think there was a lot of racism.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They couldn't ever imagine a woman and a
Sri Lankan woman.
And a Sri Lankan woman.
Yeah. So you faced you faced some tough times?
I faced quite a lot of tough times, but see, if you have confidence, I had confidence in my skills as a lawyer. Yeah. And the main thing as a lawyer, I think you have to have confidence.
Yeah.
Because I I had confidence, and also I was a good student, so I knew the law.
Yeah, you knew your stuff.
More than the ability, not more than being an advocate.
Yeah.
More than the speaking, I was skilled in the law, and I think magistrates and judges may have recognized that whatever I say, and because of that, I used to make sure that I always backed up whatever submission that I made with a court case, a precedent.
Yeah.
So, but it was all very hard work. People think that you are overnight success, but it's not.
Oh
so
yeah, I don't think you can't really be an overnight success in anything, can you? It's that hard work, that
and
dedication.
It's the hard work that gives the rewards, isn't it?
Yeah. So every time that you were confronted with, racism or sexism, that just sort of fired you up to just.
I just ignored it. You see.
Yeah.
I've even had comments when a client had asked for me, or a solicitor had asked for me, and another solicitor had said, "Look, why do you want that black woman?" Something like that.
Yeah.
And that can be hurtful.
Of course.
But at least you know that when you, and then the person who said that about me, the next year, he had a case where he needed a lawyer, and he came to me.
Yeah. It's always the way, isn't it, those people?
Yeah.
And then suddenly they want to be like that, and they suddenly need your help.
Yeah, but when they need their help, they come to you. Clearly, he didn't believe in what he said, isn't it?
Oh, of course, yeah. And that's brilliant. So you did a lot in the courtrooms?
I did a lot of court work.
So was that scary at first when you first had to get in the court?
I had the experience in Sri Lanka. I have done murder trials in Sri Lanka.
Oh, so you did do some criminal stuff in Sri Lanka?
Sri Lanka, yes.
Right, okay.
But Sri Lanka, I was a success because my father was a successful lawyer there. And his father was also a successful lawyer, and his father was a proctor, like a solicitor here.
Yeah.
And their firm gave me the first briefs.
Yeah.
So I at least had the backing, and then I had the experience of 8 years there before I came here.
Okay.
So that today, because when I came here, the women had there were no successful women here, women barristers here.
Yeah.
In fact, when I went and saw the women lawyers, I went and met the women lawyers president, and I said that, I asked her, what about, the prejudices? And then she said, Mohini, don't worry about the prejudice because you're a Sri Lankan.
Yeah.
And racial prejudice, it will be, if you come across prejudice, it will be because you're a female.
Yeah.
So then when you think that, you are not, I was not so daunted, then I thought it's not personal.
Yeah.
To me, it's just that they're not used to female lawyers.
That's great. There seems to be so many things in your life where you've been an advocate for change, or you've started something like that. That must be great to have done all those things in your life.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's a good feeling, because when you think that you had done things that other people may not have even tried.
Yeah, to have that courage to do those things, like you said, others wouldn't have tried. That's amazing.
I thank my father for that, because he always said, you're as good as you think.
Yeah. So he was the person that really drove that confidence and that sort of, taking things on.
And I had a brother who was brilliant.
Yeah.
But he treated the daughters as, he didn't think that they were any second to the boys, you see.
So there was no special treatment because you were a girl. It was
my mother gave special treatment to my brother, right. But my father didn't. He treated everybody the same. But
again, that's just a great way to set you up for life, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
So lots of very fond memories of your father.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, well, that's really good. There's such good stories and such good things that you've achieved. It's really great to hear. Yeah. Could I ask you, if you don't mind sharing, about your time in aged care? And I think, as I said on the podcast before, we'd love to be able to use this to give advice to people that maybe are coming into aged care, or family that have loved ones coming in. How was the transition for you coming into
I
HTM?
was scared of the transition initially. I didn't know what it would be because I have never lived in this type of scenario. So I thought I wouldn't enjoy it. But I met a lot of very nice people, both staff and other residents.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to hear about the backgrounds of others, because people from all backgrounds have come here. And I don't hesitate to ask them tactfully,
Again,
what they'd like.
again, you're happy to go in there and talk to people and hear their stories and.
That's right. Yeah.
And do you get involved with the different activities or the trips out and that kind of thing?
Yeah. No, I go to everything. When they have the concerts, film shows, I try to take part in all the activities that is offered to us.
So you get really involved with everything?
I really get involved with everything.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. That's really good.
Because I think, that's what we are here for. And we have to make the effort if you want to enjoy it, to join, because whoever organizes it has gone to a lot of trouble, isn't it? To organize it. And I feel that to show your appreciation is to join.
Is to get involved and
get involved. I get involved in anything that I'm invited to.
Were you keen, when they mentioned the podcast, were you keen to do it straight away?
I agreed to. I can't say that I was keen because I was not sure whether what it was. And
it's been the same with everyone that's come on the podcast. Obviously, it's something new and they're not sure what to expect and the cameras are here and stuff, but hopefully it hasn't been too bad doing it.
No, you've been very good. You encourage, because I thought I might get tongue-tied and I might know what to say.
Oh, no, you've been fantastic and the stories have been great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Before you go, and we'll finish up in a second, the same question we asked to everyone. If you could go back in time and speak to your young self, is there any advice that you would give yourself now that you've lived your life?
To have more confidence.
It sounds like you had plenty of confidence anyway.
No, I tried things, but not with confidence.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So.
And I published my autobiography. I brought this here to help me, but I didn't need it.
So you've had a book published?
I had a book published.
Oh, another achievement. That's great. Yeah.
And not only that, I published it myself, self-published.
Yeah.
But and it cost me a fair bit. And do you know that I didn't expect a profit, but I made a couple of $100 profit on it.
Oh, you did make some profit?
Yeah.
That's great. So what did you say that's a biography?
Yes, autobiography, yeah.
Right, okay. Have you got some copies that can I buy one?
Certainly.
Yeah, I'll have to buy one before we go.
I can give you one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. So a lot of the things that we've discussed, are they in here?
Maybe some of it may be there, some of it, because I have missed out on some of the things that I should have included. Because as it is, it took me a number of years to have it ready.
So is it hard work writing a book?
Pardon?
It is hard work writing a book?
It is hard work. It took me so many years.
Yeah.
Because what happened was, a friend of mine, who is one of the Buddhist young girls, she said, Mohini, you have to write your autobiography. Because I had done a lot of work in Buddhism here in Australia.
Yeah.
So, but really, I don't think I covered any of the things that she wanted me to cover.
All right.
Pardon?
You'll have to bring out a second book. Another one.
No.
You don't want to go through.
It was hard enough.
Yeah. So does this follow a lot of the Buddhism? Is it a lot of this around the?
No, it's around my life. It's not about Buddhism.
Oh, right. Okay. So it's about your life. Yeah. Awesome. That's great. Thanks so much for that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
My pleasure.
Thanks so much again for coming on the podcast.